bot. Obviously, a lot of setup there from both Ral and Leona. I tend to want to see, well, I think that's where we're going to look. As we do head onto the Rift, here is Game 2, and I'm hoping to see a bit of a better performance out of Chiefs. Maybe we can see Oceania pick up their first game.
Yeah, want to see them bounce back, as well as end Oceania's now 23-game international loss streak. Stacking up pretty high now. Chiefs could be the ones to put a stop to it. It is Keze who goes for the Electrocute and the Scorch, so is that solo AP and perhaps wants to make it work. Could see the Ludens even come out of the Ahri this game. Everything else, though, I mean, seems pretty normal. Got the Ghost picked up by Lakai. Ghost on Feng as well. And doesn't need the cleanse this game. And I think when you can take the Ghost, it makes your team fights obviously a lot easier. Ray's forced to take the cleanse into the Leona. Can be pretty difficult without it.
Do you typically take Stopwatch as Jace, or do you think that's more of an answer to the Vi?
It could be an answer to the Vi. I think it's just fairly open, right? Both the boots or the Stopwatch kind of allow you to accelerate towards that first item just a little bit quicker. Both bots will start in lane. Jungler's starting on the opposite side of the map, though, and I think Kizé actually got a ward on the Raptors of Kongyue, it looks like. So it's going to spot him out nice and early. But Kongyue, he is pathing 3 camps, could maybe even look for some sort of level 3 gank bot, and would be there, you know, way quicker than Babbitt would.
Yeah, we did see him look for a really early gank last game onto the mid, but obviously a lot less setup at this stage of the game than there was last game, but Leona certainly offers a lot, so taking on the Krugs now, we'll have to see where he does head, as BioPanther winning out on some early trades here in top, so do have to enjoy that as the side of Chiefs, but sorry, we do see just a 2v2 and Feng will pick up first blood bot.
That's pretty worrying, I think, actually, for Chiefs. Not just because Aladoric went down, but because that potentially leaves Raze vulnerable to a dive. They are going to spot Kongyue on this war. Okay, Kongyue decides to path back top instead. But yeah, just a straight 2v2 kill coming out of the BYG bot lane. We didn't even see it happen, but I mean, now that's really rough, right? That's your counter pick Rel. And it's already 0-1. Both junglers, they're looking around mid because he has the charm.
Bob up here. Will they be able to find anything? Charm actually goes wide, so nothing will become of this, but Kise is chunked down quite low. Does have another stack of Corruption Potion, so will be able to get back a bit of health and mana, but a lot of action already.
Lots of action indeed, but not what you want to see for Chiefs, right? Once again, down gold so early in the game. And Feng, he had a monstrous performance last game on the Zeri. Picks up a first blood once again. Is definitely looking good in this bot side. Can anything be done with the stacked wave? I wouldn't think so. You have Babip on the bot side, but the BYG bot, they do just seem a little too healthy, right? Feng, he has his flash still. Don't think that's going to be punishable. Has 116, TP's back to mid, has the tier. Can be stacking up nice and early. Because he gets the Doran's Ring as an answer.
I wonder what build we'll see on Jace this game. I feel like maybe it's going to be Eclipse.
Yeah, I like the Eclipse build more. Gore Drinker, I mean, we've seen it a few times. I haven't been a huge fan of it, though. Junglers, I think they're going to meet here. Looks like Babbitt, he gets the ward. Ooh, Kongyue, I believe he is... Yeah, he should be spotted on the ward now. Yeah, we will get pinged out. Babbitt, he's just going to recall in this bush next to mid. He's kind of hovering Kizé, allowing him to push in that wave. Don't think anything can be done with this priority. Actually, interesting that Kizé has the sweeper so early into the game. As pings are coming out on mid, Kizé has his flash, but Kongyue, he's looking for something. Looks like he's just going to cross. Trades, starting to go the way of Lakai in the top side very early, which could be kind of worrying, right? This Gwen obviously does scale so well into the Scion. But if BioPanther can keep kind of even in CS, I think that's sort of what you can ask for out of your top lane blind pick here.
Yeah, and he's sort of more aiming to be a menace in these team fights, you have to feel.
Like this wave will all get cleared out, so not going to be any play coming towards top. This Kongyue, he completed his recall and now will be pathing back out towards bot side. Could potentially look on Aladoric, who, without the flash, could be vulnerable.
Yeah, Dragon up now too, so we did see them take it at 6 minutes last game, and with where Kongyue is now and how bot lanes look so far, wouldn't be surprised to see it again, although Kise has gotten himself priority in this mid lane and is headed down here now, so will have control over River, which you have to like. I mean, more control that they've had over Dragon than last game, and will stop the sort of explosive early that we saw.
Okay, Baba, he's... Oh, yeah.
Raze will be rooted up. He's getting extremely low. Does not go down, importantly. Kino now also low in return. Barbet finding a nice knock up there to stop any more damage coming onto Raze, and nothing will be found. However, massive amounts of damage going on over to Kino and Raze.
Yeah, low health bars across the board as we see a trade in mid. Kize just committed the charm. Does take a lot of damage on the back end. It was Raze, though, who lost both his sums. And it was only the Ignite committed from Kino, so potentially a re-engage option later on in the game. Because he has mana for ult. Yeah, it looks like he will be fine here. Skongway will show him path back towards that top side. So it isn't the Dragon or anything picked up, but you have to worry about Raze in the near future not having either of his sums versus an accelerated Feng who has himself a lot of AD already. Looks like Kize will just be able to crash this wave in, perhaps look for a reset of his own afterwards. Well, Kino, he's actually going to pull the wave, though, which is really annoying. Kind of hate to see it. Maybe Aladora can crash it. It's kind of going to be a war for this mid wave.
Okay, ult will be committed, but no more mana actually on Ari, so... Bit of an interesting option. I mean, they saw Kino, maybe thought he was alone, but Kongyue was around as well, so... Just Spirit Rush lost.
It was a Spirit Rush traded out for Kino's Flash, which I think is pretty important because it keeps Raze safe, right? Without those sums, having the Leona with Flash advantage could be very tough. As it looks like BYG now will start up this Dragon, so slightly behind schedule compared to last game, only a minute, but maybe now looking back towards bot.
Looking bot, Flash is available now for Rel, but...
You're going to turn back towards the Dragon. Looks like it will most likely be the Eclipse coming out of the Jace, who now has that Dirk completed. And with that mid and bot priority, this should be, once again, the first Dragon going to the side of BYG. Can there be a trade onto the Herald? I mean, it's not up yet, but Babip's going to have much better tempo onto it. With the way the top matchup's going, though, I'm not sure you're going to be able to. CS lead definitely starting to build up here for Lukai. So early as well. Do have Scuttle Crab vision. Zakai is going to drop the ward here as well. That will spot out if Babip looks to start it up. There are pings onto it. But will they go for it? I mean, Kongyue, he's still on the other side of the map. Tempo's kind of bad. Maybe he can look for some sort of gank on Lakai. Is spotted out on the ward. Will now enter the river. Delaying a lot of time, though. I don't think there's any sort of top gank. It looks like Chiefs, they're going to try path out of base towards the Herald. So definitely committing to contesting at Kino. He's going to match the roam. But Feng will stay bot and can most likely just trade plates for it.
Yeah, Rift Herald is started up here, and it looks like they will be getting it, but what do they lose? I mean, Feng can potentially gain so much here, and all those bot waves are just going to go to nobody, so I didn't actually see who picked that up yet, but the fight has started, and Raze will use that Killer Instinct to come in. Can he find anything? Barbit goes down here to 1116. Nice knock-up by Biopanther. Charm lands. That's a double kill for Raze. Can he find the third? It will go over to Kise. So 3 kills for the Chiefs. I don't know quite who got the Herald, but...
Looks like it was Babip.
Oh, massive. So they got the Herald, got 3 kills, 2 of which went onto Raze, 1 onto the mid laner. So massive pickup for Chiefs. Alternatively, though, Feng has got a lot of solo gold, is now up CS and 2 plates.
So this Scryer's Bloom, it actually misses Raze. So they think that this is just a 4v4, but it ends up actually being a 4v5. And it is one that goes the way of Chiefs. While there is a lot of damage coming out here from 1116, it kind of runs out of steam. And then it really is Raze who's just able to DPS here. And while he did lose 2 plates bot, you have to think picking up the Herald as well as all that top gold is certainly worth it at this point. You know, now finds himself 2-0-1. I mean, they've closed the gold lead and they have the Herald to kind of bring it even more. Interesting, though, it is Feng who has that Gale Force.
Yeah, they're extremely scary, but in not too long, Raze should pick up that either Kraken Slayer or Gale Force, whichever he wants to go to. A lot of damage onto Kongyue. Really nice charm by Kise. Dragon's Rage also was committed there, so Lee Sin not up at the moment, but will definitely be up in time for this Dragon.
Only 2 more minutes here. Raze will have the sums this time, and you have to think in 2 more minutes should have the Mythic by then. Could maybe even look onto 1116 with a gank before that dragon. He's a flashless Jace, which is extremely easy to gank, especially for Babbitt, who has that point-and-click ultimate. And this is definitely the most promising start the Chiefs have had so far, but now it kind of comes, can you get over the finish line with it? Can you pick up some of these objectives with, time and time again? Just kills won't be enough. You're going to need to translate 2 objectives, particularly dragons and towers seem to be the name of the game right now. But it's a solid start, especially getting the kill onto both your carries. Feels really good.
I wonder if we will see Riftmaker finished before this dragon spawns, because that could be a massive... we see an initiation here. 1116 getting extremely low. Kill will be found. That's a second kill now for Ari, and Chiefs looking really good.
The flashless Jace is punished. I like it from the side of Chiefs. They can probably take some mid plates here as well. They're going to drop the Herald, so this should be Chiefs actually picking up a gold lead here. And it's going on the right members, I think. While it would maybe be better to get it onto Raze, I think that just getting that amount of gold there onto your Ari, especially as the solo AP, feels pretty good. BYG, though, can they answer back on the bot side?
Yeah, Raze should just play safe here, knowing that Dragon's up in 1 minute. He shouldn't lose his ult or either sums. Is fine to dodge out from that gank, but again, 50 seconds now on the Dragon, and you feel like if you can spend this gold on Kai'Sa, you should be contesting.
You would think so. 40 seconds out, though. Lakai is building himself up a bigger and bigger lead in the top side. Obviously, he hasn't really been involved in too many fights so far, but has some plates for himself and has a pretty nice CS lead too. Once he gets that Riftmaker, top matchup is going to get much worse for Biopanther. 20 seconds on this Dragon, though, and I think this should go the way of Chiefs, although Raze hasn't reset and should be sitting on a fair amount of gold.
Yeah, I feel because of that, maybe it will go to BYG. Stopwatch also now available for 116, and just the mythic disadvantage that they're currently facing, I don't think they can contest as Raze goes back to base. It will likely be Dragon for BYG, although Sion teleporting mid.
Everyone's coming down. It is a mythic completed here from Raze. I think this fight should go the way of Chiefs if they play it well.
Yeah, don't want to lose too much health before it, though. Corruption Potion is available for now.
Yeah, they've delayed enough time to get Raze here, which is definitely nice. They're entering the river, and BYG...
1116 will commit that stopwatch. Ceases and desist now down, as 1116 does go down. Barbitt will find that one. Lakai, though, is on the background, will use needlework, finding a lot of damage. And what can Raze get done? Raze now in the middle of 3. Lakai will dash over to him. No sums available for Kai'Sa anymore, and it is a 2-for-1 in the favor of Chiefs, but extremely low health bars means they can't likely get the Dragon.
They most likely will be forced to reset. Like you said, though, the 2-for-1, they do trade slightly up. Feels like BYG might have the better tempo on the objective here, though, because he's delayed his base for a pretty long time. The initial engage, it looked pretty good, but the stopwatch from 116 single-handedly keeps him alive for so long. And that allows him to trade so much extra damage over here. It is taken out in the CC still, but on the side, Lakai, even without the Mythic, actually can deal so much damage into what are stacked members on the side of Chiefs. Raze, he got into that back line, but isn't quite at the point where he can just take everyone out. Did manage to pick himself up a 3rd kill, though. And maybe they're looking at this first Dragon. They Chiefs, at 15 minutes, they're going to find themselves with a gold lead, most likely. I think that might be the first time.
It definitely could be. I think it probably is. And importantly, picking up that Dragon. So Dragon stacking now, even for both sides. Raze extremely ahead, as is Kise. And you have to like the chances. This could be Oceania's first win here in the PCS.
I think you do like the chances, and something you brought up before the game was that Kongyue, if he doesn't find the impact his team needs, if they don't close this game out before, roughly around that 35-minute mark, the jungle role from that point just has less impact than the others, right? And Kongyue, definitely the star of this roster, so far hasn't found a whole lot of impact in this game, although we'll now look towards the Herald. And while BYG, they're only at a slight deficit, it's looking pretty good here for Chiefs, but the one, kind of caveat to that is look at the lead in the top lane. The Kai is so far ahead in the 1v1, and we'll now have a Herald to accelerate that even further. And the Gwen vs. Sion, it's really paying dividends here.
Yeah, first tower gold for Raze, though. So top lane tower will likely be answered, and Rift Herald is available to be used if they choose to, but Looks like they won't be going for that top inner just yet. Raze, however, did pick himself up that first tower, as I said, and a bit of farm for himself. So feeling extremely happy as this Kaiser as he looks towards upgrading that Q, and soon will have that Navori Quick Blades.
If he can get that Navori before the next fight that breaks out, I think that's an extremely big win for them. Lakai now, he has that Rift Maker and working on what is going to be the Nashes, I think. We've seen many different builds from the Gwen. The Nashes, though, definitely the most aggressive option. Not going for something like the Zhonya's will just be full damage and definitely going to be a menace in the side lane as well as the team fights if he can manage to stay alive.
I guess the Nash's Tooth buff that came through definitely makes it a better item. Almost certainly will be the exact item you want to pick up almost every game now, I suppose. But top tower now being looked at by Chiefs. See if they can get it. Doesn't look like it for now. Still 3 minutes on any other objective around the map, so should be happy just clearing waves and trying to chip away at the tower. Rift Hero committed mid. This should get the tower down for the side of Beyond and honestly open up a lot of vision and control towards both objectives.
Tower lives so low. Will most likely just get picked up on one of the following waves, though. That being said, I mean, Raze is pretty strong on these mid waves. You know, maybe can't force off, although it is Aladoric who's going to be committing the reset. So I think this should be the tier 1 mid that will go the side of BYG. Maybe just bring Kongyue over to hover and ensure that you can walk up and hit this tower. They have Lakai brought down as well. It's a nice little gold injection here picked up. And more importantly, like you said, the control around this area can't be understated. Fire Panther is just going to clear up these towers here in the bot side. 2 minutes now on this second drag for the teams. Should still be a pretty even fight. I mean, gold is very similar. It's kind of just like where that gold is put, right? Lakai is very ahead on the top side and very strong. You have to think, though, Raze and Kizé, the two, again, mid-game teamfight carries of the Chiefs. They found the gold they need. All they need to do now is execute upon it.
Yeah, and I think with this Jace too, need to be careful of his poke because we don't really see any sustain outside of that corruption potion. So a couple of accelerated shock blasters onto Raze can spell a defeat at the Dragon Pit. So something to be wary of, but for now, clearing out mid-wave should get priority of this river, clear out some of that existing BYG vision, get some for themselves, and 1 minute now. Raze resetting. I assume he just has Warhammer?
Yeah, you wouldn't think he has enough gold. Yeah, okay, you're right. Grabs the Warhammer ahead of this fight. Gets the reset off pretty early, so maybe can get here and start to control some of the vision. Chiefs have pretty good vision on this bot side already. It's a lot of control for them. As Babib now maybe will enter the river. Instead, though, BYG are actually entering the top side. There's no Baron, but maybe they can look to trade towers and farm. Perhaps don't want the actual 5v5, or maybe just trying to make a pick right now ahead of this fight. Feng, though, has to be careful on this mid wave. Has the ult and can trade it out, but is currently vulnerable.
I'm kind of curious by BioPanther's itemization here. I mean, looks like he will be heading towards the Force of Nature. I mean, it could be the Abyssal Mark. No, I don't think Abyssal Mark. I think it's the Force of Nature, almost certainly, but I don't know that it's entirely justified in this game.
It's a weird choice, yeah. Obviously makes the side lane a little better, but Gwen obviously deals a lot of the true damage too. I think this will be the trade. So BYG, they decide that we don't need the dragon. We're just going to play for the gold instead. They are going to pick up this top tower as well as deny a little bit of CS. But it is now... Jeez, oh, actually, they don't pick up the dragon as response.
They're looking for Lakai. They will use Rel ult. Can they find it? Stunned up is Lakai. Barbip comes in. Cease and desist used. Now 1116 having to flash away. Kongyue just misses a massive Dragon's Rage, but Solar Flare now. Aladoric stunned up as Sion comes into the middle. Will land a massive knock-up, and that's another kill. So Chiefs here have picked up two. Not yet lost anyone, but... Nice flash in from Feng, finds a kill. Will he find a double up? Not just yet. So many low health bars. Kongyue now knocked up again. Barbip will secure that again. So another kill found for BYG, sorry, for Chiefs, and that is 1 for 3.
A 1 for 3 and the Dragon picked up. What a crazy fight. I wonder how much damage 1116 did on the Jace there, as well as Feng, who managed to snipe a kill. And I believe pick up the shutdown on Raze. I'm not quite sure if it was him that got the kill. I think it was, though.
Yeah, it was.
And I think after that, despite trading up in numbers and the drag, BYG come out ahead in terms of gold. Initially, Chiefs, instead of going for the drag, they decide to make a trade of their own and pick Lakai very early, which I think is a great decision. 1160 TPs in, immediately flashes out, but look how much damage comes out from the Jace. Gets that 3-man QE there. Zion comes roaring into the fight. So much damage initially here, but I think another Shock Blast is what really kind of makes this playable here, as we see Feng, Gale forces in, picks up the shutdown onto Raze. And then Kongyue perhaps got a bit too far in, but it's still definitely pretty even overall. So Chiefs are the one that walk away with that second dragon. I mean, what a fight.
Yeah, and we see Baron actually started up here by Chiefs. Lakai going in will find a lot of damage here onto Barber. He has to be extremely careful. Biopanther will zone the side of Beyond away, and another Shock Blast landing, so Barber really low, will have to reset. What will Beyond look to do in this time? Maybe clear out a bit of vision around these objectives?
Okay, yeah, I mean, he has to reset. So I guess BYG can just force the wave down mid. Maybe they can start to try to take some of the standing gold bot. There's still some bot towers up. Both the bot tier 1 and 2 are still there. Maybe Lakai can get into that side and kind of break more of that open. It looks like more pings, though, are coming towards the Baron. I think Cheeks want to try force it, get Lakai away from this split push win condition. Lakai does not have TP, so if Chiefs start this up, it's on a ward.
Looking again, Kai'Sa, a lot of damage at this stage of the game with those 2 items onto Baron. Kisei marking here, trying to keep the side of BYG away. Aladoric doing the same. Baron is down to half health.
I think this should go the way of Chiefs. They can probably pick it up and look for the turn after.
Kongyue may look for a steal here. Will not land the Q, and with that, Baron does go to the side of Chiefs. They're looking so good. Biopanther, though, getting really low. I feel like Chiefs should just try and leave here. What will Kongyue find? He does find the Q, but will not find a follow-up. As we see a turnaround, Kongyue gets eliminated. Raze finds himself another as Kisei does land charm on Feng, sorry. Feng finds 2 back, though, and a massive Shock Blast will only just not find the other 3 members of Chiefs.
It was so close. I mean, once again, the health bars are so low. It is Chiefs that walk away with the Baron, but I am surprised that they didn't just leave straight away. It kind of feels like, yeah, after this, you get the Baron, you know Lakai's still not here. If you just walk out, maybe even sacrifice Biopanther, you have 4 Barons left alive. Instead, decide to stick around. And while they go for the re-engage, once again, similar to last game, Feng is left untouched just to DPS. Deals 4,000 damage in this team fight.
Yeah.
They even got Flash Charmed, but was still taken out. And Lakai on the backline 1v3'd and managed to get out. So perhaps a bit of an overstay from Chiefs, but still feel happy about picking up the Baron.
Yeah, Raze no mana in that fight too, so I imagine if he had mana, it probably looks a lot different, him being sort of the main carry on this team. Man, what a close game. Chiefs looking better than they have ever before at the moment, so you do have to like their chances. Gold is even, but you have to see what they can get now out of this Baron buff. Mid tower should go down, you'd have to think, as Raze looking to split on the bot side. Lakai, though, coming down from that top side jungle, have to be careful to Chiefs.
You really got to respect Lakai. This tier 2 bot is now being sieged, and I think this should go down. I don't think the BYG members can get here in time. It's very low. Looks like it will be taken out. The mid tier 1, though, does stand for now. And can Chiefs get anything more off the Baron? I would think maybe a mid tier 1, and that might be it.
Do pick up the Raptor.
They got the Raptor. 1 minute now on what will be Chiefs' 3rd drag if they can pick it up. And with those Baron waves, should be able to secure it. Looks like the mid-tier 1 will fall now as well. And this brings Chiefs to a slight gold lead for themselves, around 1,000.
Yeah, Baron will fall off as Dragon spawns, but having Baron just before it can mean getting pressure in these side lanes. We see the bottom lane here really pushed here for the side of Chiefs, so BYG will have to respond to that before going to Dragon. Lakai looks like he'll be headed there. Does have teleport available. Actually, every teleport is available in this game.
Okay, yeah, TP comes in from Kize on the Ahri. They want to make sure they can establish this control early. Aren't actually on the map to use their Baron waves. Admittedly, Baron only has 10 more seconds left, but BYG perhaps getting to enter the river when they might not be able to normally. I wonder though, Chiefs could just go down mid and give the drag if they wanted. It looks like they will. Yeah, Ping is coming on towards that mid tower, so even if BYG look towards the drag, it could even be an inhib going over for it, as I think Chiefs, will they continue for more or will they turn to the drag? Yeah, they're going to go for more. I like this play out of Chiefs. It's only the second drag for BYG, and it's so much gold.
Massive Lakai here does go golden, but 4 members surrounding him will get knocked up and taken down by Kisei. So 1 kill found, looks like inhib will be found too, but now it's a 4v5 for the side of Chiefs. Can they look for anything else? Kongyue on the back, Kisei does spirit rush forward, will not land charm. Solar Flare will land onto 2 here, but nothing yet at the moment. Biopanther rooted, actually taking a lot of damage from Feng. Ghost use, Feng will find Kisei there with that Gale Force. Now it's about running. What can Chiefs get away? Flash committed from Kongyue, but will not find anyone just yet. Aladoric goes down to 1116, so 2 found for Beyond, but Inhib, importantly, does go to the side of Chiefs. So this game is just on such a tight wire.
It really, really is. And Chiefs, I really like the decision that they made there to just give up that dragon and take as much as you can down mid. Once again, they're overstayed too long because they actually goes forward instead of just disengaging. And that's what allows this counter-engage to come out. I really think if Chiefs had just cut their losses and left, even let Bio die again, then it would be fine, but Kize with no escape here gets Ghost and Flash Gale forced on by Feng, who then just has so much damage and can chase him down. So it's good decisions that Chiefs are making, but the execution just isn't quite clean enough to kind of bring them ahead in this game.
Yeah, but as we saw there, both summoners now down for Feng, whereas Raze will have his up. So Baron in 1 minute, you have to favor Chiefs actually for this fight. Feng has to play really, really carefully around the Scion, the Vi, even the Ral. So I don't know, Chiefs looking good for this next fight. Obviously the gold going to Feng is not so good, but
eyes, I think, definitely on Raze for this fight, right? Maybe on Feng as well to see if he can play it out with those no stuns. But Raze now has that BT completed as well. It's very, very difficult to be taken out. Feng does have to be a little careful.
Yeah, being a bit too confident here will get shot down. Eating forward, actually, just really questionable there. And 30 seconds now on Baron. The Chiefs are going to have to try and delay for Raze to come back up, but he lost both sums.
Yeah, both sums lost his life, and it was once again Feng that picked up the kill. PCS ADCs.
Looking. He will find Aladark with Dragon's Rage. It looks like Aladark might go down. The magnetic field delays it for a little bit, but he will inevitably be found. Lakai ghosting forward. Doesn't look like he can find anyone with that ult just yet, but Baron now will likely be taken from Beyond. Can Biopanther find anything bot? It doesn't look like he'll have time. Kisei poking around.
Yeah, I don't think there is any trade here for Chiefs. Really all they can do is take camps and push the waves, but that's absolutely disastrous there for the Chiefs. You have to feel like that Baron should have been in their hands, but once Raze dies and loses both sums, they potentially throw their chance at winning this game, and we'll have to see how much can BYG get done with this Baron.
Yeah, with how mid-wave is right now and with constant super minions, that is a little bit harder for Beyond to find anything of value with it, but you have to feel like Chiefs were favored to take that 5v5 at Baron just with the whole summoner situation. But man, Raze E into that tower and into the range of Xayah getting caught out changed the tide of this game by the looks of things.
It did, and so many times, right, we've seen those fights come down to those last few inches, and Chiefs just not quite clean enough. They still have a chance in this game for sure, but I think the shoe is back on BYG's foot. Chiefs, they're setting up some sort of play around mid. They have control of this area, and BYG, they have to regain this control safely. Probably just best to go down mid as a 5-man, at least for now. Maybe send 116 with that TP to another lane. Yeah. Bang, he has the ghost now, but does not have the flash.
Barber will be found here getting really, really low. Does get chunked from that Jace Q, but honestly, nice trade back from Kisei onto Lakai. Chunks him out about the same amount as Barber was chunked out, so fairly even trade and just more minions to clear while the Baron's up. You have to like this. Chiefs are stalling out this Baron. And honestly, with dragons spawning in 30 seconds, it's not looking like so much of a win con. You have another 5 minutes afterwards, and Honestly, it seems like one team fight could almost end this game at this stage, so I don't feel like you're too worried about giving over Dragon, although of course you don't want to.
Yeah, I think Chiefs probably should just give over the Dragon. It'll stall the Baron. I wonder if BYG actually instead choose to leave the Dragon alive, at least for now, and try and maximize your pressure with the Dragon. Obviously, taking the Dragon is definitely the safer play, but if they feel like they have enough control, they could siege, but it looks like they will play it safe. Are going to pick up this third Dragon here for themselves. And I don't think too much more can actually be picked up with this Baron. Maybe you can look for the bot tier 2. Raze, though, he's trying to trade back something on the top side. Is sieging that top tier 2. So it comes out, I think, reasonably decent. Still, BYG find themselves a solid lead with this, the third Dragon, and more gold picked up. But I think Chiefs do what they can off the back of it, right? They managed to trade that top tower, get more gold onto Raze. Also managed to stall most of it out, right? They don't have their base cracked open, at least for now. Raze, he's got to get this reset in. Should kind of enter a lull period here, I would think. It's kind of difficult to make any sort of aggressive play with so many flashes being up. It's only Raze kind of missing it at the moment. So most likely we'll just be looking towards this fourth Dragon and next Baron fight. Although, BYG, I mean, they have the pick tools, especially with the Leona, where you can kind of fish for things and you don't have to fully commit to them. Jace TPs onto that top wave. Looks like they're actually going to try Siege.
Yeah, we'll find Barber's Flash, actually, so that cooldown now down. You have to feel a lot safer as Feng, although Xayah not the greatest Vi target in the world.
Yeah, having no flash, I think, does make things a little more difficult. You know, you can't just, like, flash off the Jace, for example, who doesn't have the stopwatch this time. And BYG, they have full control over this top side jungle. Will they look to siege with it? It doesn't look like it. So Chiefs, they've bought themselves some time. Probably 2.5 more minutes before any fight breaks out.
Yeah, GA now picked up by Raze, so we'll have a little bit of extra survivability in these fights, although with how much damage is available to both teams, you feel like if you go down into GA, you kind of are likely to just immediately die afterwards unless you have nice peel.
Yeah, I mean, he has the survivability, like you said, but I wonder, he kind of needs to deal a lot of his team's damage, right? Because I feel like pretty much no one else on the team will be dealing relevant damage at this point, right? Ari not, okay, Engage comes out.
Not onto Biopanther, that's definitely the target you don't want to be on, as he just stands in the middle of everyone and honestly took 0 damage during that. Frozen Heart now picked up from him, so finally getting a bit of armor against this mainly AD stacking side of Beyond. You have to feel a lot nicer in these team fights as Biopanther can take a little bit more damage from the Xayah as well.
Kongyue might get engaged on. Bev's looking for something but doesn't quite find it. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the Baron now before Chiefs are going to be forced to make a move. And Raze, he can't get much stronger. Kize, he opts for the Zhonya's third, which is nice for survivability. But I'm not sure if he's going to deal enough damage, right? Ari has a lot of safety already. I think I would have preferred going towards something like the Rabadons. Instead, though, it's pretty much all going to be up to Raze to deal the relevant damage. And we've certainly seen him deal those damage that he needs to before. It's just whether or not he can do it over here in the PCS.
You know, I want to just slow it down for a second. Have you taken a look at Leona's items?
What she got? Oh, Zhonya's.
That's the only item.
That's the only item. And a ruby.
Yeah, true. I've not seen that before, but I guess it makes her survive a bit more of a distraction in these team fights. So, I mean, interesting pickup. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it. And it might buy you more time than tanky stats would at this point anyway.
Yeah, but I guess you lose out on the utility of either the Shiralias or that locket we see on Aladoric. But interesting decision. I mean, Leona, one of those champs, if she goes in, she can't get back out. So I guess it makes sense.
Chiefs, currently the ones that have the control. Maybe they will be the ones to actually look to start it, although there is a lot of poke that can come out from 1116. But with the BT completed onto Raze, it's going to be hard to ever poke him out. And I wonder, will this be started? It is, and it's spotted out. The blue trinket does see it. Now, BYG, they have to be careful face-checking into this.
Okay, the Gwenfield now down, so that's quite nice, as we do see Barbip going onto him. We'll find it. What is Ray's doing here? Who is he hitting? He's getting 1116. He does find the kill. Kino will be found as well. That's a double kill for the AD carry of Chiefs. Thing, however, pulling a massive Shroud down and taking out 2. They will find a 3rd, and Kise on the side going down to Kongyue as well. So while things look fantastic for Chiefs, Thing pulls out some heroics without even using his ultimate.
Oh my god, man. PCS ADCs are built different. 9,400 damage dealt by Feng Zaya. That fight was looking so good for Chiefs, and Feng, he saved BYG from going down in this game. Look at the damage dealt. It was 152 from the Jace, but it doesn't even matter because you've got Feng on your team as buyer. He's doing his best to kind of stall this out.
Yeah, good
Actually
job.
has bought a lot of time, but will it be enough? I don't think it will.
Yeah, respawns from Barbip and Aladoric come through, so they do lose the Dragon Soul, but importantly are still in this game, and ultimately all they have to do is find one team fight win and they can win it.
One fight is all it takes, but
Feng, man.
yeah, oh, what a beast.
I feel like they were a bit disorganized there by Chiefs. Sort of, I mean, we'll see it here, but Vi goes on one person and Ray's ults the other direction.
Yeah, Vi fully commits onto the Gwen. Like you said, though, the Rel engages on someone completely different, and there isn't a lot of follow-up damage other than Ray's. He fully commits and flashes out, but take a look at Feng here, dealing so much damage, and the oh my god, look at him go! Just deals so much damage. As we look back in the live cam, and BYG, they're starting up the Baron, maybe looking for a fight right now as well.
Yeah, Baron getting extremely low. We will go take a look at it now. 4,000 health left. They are trying to find a kill on Lakai. Does look like they will, but they do lose Baron for it. Is that worth? You don't feel like it is, but I mean, it's a consolation prize.
It is nice, I think, to pick up Lakai. It's a shutdown that goes over to Kise on the Ahri, and importantly, it delays this Baron pretty significantly. At the same time, though, it is those 4 dragons that Soul on the side of BYG. It's so hard for them to lose. Feng, who has the GA now, does not have his sums, but can it be punished? Raze doesn't have sums either. Aladoric missing his flash as well. I think Kise itemizing now towards that Rabadons, but is it too late? I'm not sure if there's enough damage available from the side of Chiefs to actually deal with Feng.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and ironically, last game where you really wanted a Vi to deal with the AD carry, Vi's like not very good into Zaya, so I mean, I feel like last team fight could have been better if they had have all gone the same target. So if you imagine if Rel had have found also that Lee Sin and the Gwen and Ray's following up damage there, it looks like it could have just been a 2 for 0 at that stage, but I mean, I feel like Chiefs definitely can find their way through these team fights. They do have a lot of damage on this Kai'Sa. Definitely no slouch in team fights. So all it takes is one good engage, and if they can find Feng, that's when BYG kind of fall apart.
They are going to now push up this mid wave. There is Baron still for another minute and a half. They have it on 4 members, so as long as the Kai kind of stays grouped, have someone else pressure this Baron mid wave, should be fine. Although it looks like the Kai actually will stay mid, so won't be able to Baron the waves. But BYG is so strong that they might just be able to force Chiefs off on this top side. If Chiefs can somehow find a team fight win here, though, could bring the game back to an even state.
Yeah, Kise getting chunked out.
Lakai's bringing up the mid wave as well. That mid inhib is already down. The wave is taken out. I think Chiefs are going to be able to hold on here, most likely. The waves are not synced, so it's pretty easy for them to deal with it. Although BYG, maybe just bring 5 members topside and try brute force this down. I don't think you want to dive, but you can maybe poke them off of it.
Yes, 40 seconds left, and Biopanther happy to just sit there at the top. Is rooted up, and honestly, from how much damage Feng has, he doesn't do a whole lot to Biopanther, so another minion wave cleared out, and they will have 1 minion wave in mid. That will be the last Baroned up minion wave they have available to them. Yeah, and it looks like Chiefs have held on.
Yeah, now Kongyue uses a Baron buff mid. I like that a lot more. This is the last Baron wave, as you said. They've done a good job so far. I think it might take a little bit of damage. I think it's okay, though.
Yeah, Chiefs finding a bit of poke here and there, which disallows BYG from walking up too far, but Chiefs are going to need a recall here. Importantly, no objective to follow.
Okay, Baron is now gone, and that should be the siege over. The side of BYG most likely will try leave, although tower's getting pretty low and Bio was chunked out. Maybe could actually break the tier 1. Would be a little surprised to see if they go for any more.
Aladoric walking up, getting quite low, actually loses that horse form as Barbip now getting extremely low too. Solar Flare will find him. Cease and desist, however, used on Nakai. Up the top, we see Kongyue getting so low as well. Inhib inevitably does fall down. Kisei looks for the charm, finds it onto 116, and that's a kill picked up. Lakai now getting looked at. Kisei following up. Can he find one more charm? Not just yet, but will get the GA from Kongyue. 2 for 0 so far if they do find Kongyue, which they will. My goodness, so they are running away. There is no objective just yet, but they will get priority of setting up for this Elder Dragon that's spawning in 1.5 minutes.
It's really nice, I think, that they managed to trade back 2 kills, but something that's very problematic is your top inhib going down ahead of this Elder Dragon. And I think here, really nice play from Kize, who managed to find 116, even had the flash and used it, but it was far too late. Kongyue, questionable positioning as well. Not too sure why you would path this way. It kind of feels like you just secured your own death. I think it's as good as you can get here for Chiefs, but losing that inhib can be difficult with this Elder Dragon spawning. See Carbon, he's happy with that one. Oh, actually maybe going to take a bit more.
Yeah, looking to get this mid inhib, so at least an inhib down for both sides, but as you said, that top inhib is really problematic when the Dragon's on the bottom side of the map.
Biopanther, though, he has TP, so probably can stay in that top side just long enough to make sure the wave is pushed out. I don't think there's any members of BYG that can get up there in time. So top inhib doesn't look like it's going to be much of an issue for now.
Do have to be careful, though, if that mid wave does push. 2 teleports available for BYG, and Gwen Jace will just shred through towers and the Nexus. Gwen, needlework used here onto Aladoric. He will have to run away. Can he actually get out? Raise no mana, importantly. 20 seconds out from this Dragon. Yep. Solar Flare does find 2, but no follow-up just yet, and Raze will have to back as Elder Dragon is spawning, so BYG looking really favorable here in this game.
Well, Raze is actually coming to contest even with no mana. It's going to be a difficult fight. I mean, I guess he has overheal, not presence of mind, so going to have to make do with what mana he has. TP's coming in from Kize.
Yeah, Kize on a flank here. They will look for Biopanther. Biopanther tanking up happily at the moment, though. Actually will have to flash away. What can Kize find? Can he find 116 again? He does! He finds 2 people on the back. Lakai going in, however, does look like he might be looking to find Biopanther. Not quite. Kisei goes down to Lakai. This is so close. Ray's getting low on mana. It's a problem we said from before. And Lakai salvaging this team fight. It looks so good from Kisei, but ultimately it is BYG who will pick up the team fight win and look to win this game.
I think the game is completely over now. There's no way for Chiefs to hold on. 8,000 damage dealt by Feng in that team fight. Lakai, though, engaged on early, has his Zonya.
Yeah, Biopanther, can he save the game for a second time? It does look not likely. All this healing coming from Lakai's items and spells. Not quite yet. Feng is here now. With Feng being here, the game will just end, but valiant effort from Biopanther. He did try to save the game for a second time, and it has to be said, this is the best performance that we've seen from OCE, and they have been ramping up. Next game is the one.
Next game is the one. I certainly hope so. Now down 0-2 in the series, our Chiefs. It was very, very close, though, and I think credit to them. If they'd executed slightly better, perhaps could have taken it. But Feng, what a player. 10-0 again after his 14-0 performance from game 1. I think PCS ADCs might be unbeatable. We might need to bring a couple of them over to OCE at this point, because Raze, while he had a good game, it wasn't as good as Feng's.
No, absolutely not. And I feel like a lot of it too, some of those timings on Raze getting low on mana before 2 of those objectives, I believe Baron was one of them. Dragon at the end there, obviously, it really cost them a little bit in those team fights, but